Good evening. Aloha from tropical Montana, Montana Skywatchers, Facebook site 1 and 2. This is Samuel Hofman. Today is the 17th of June 2017, and I wanted to give you guys a heads up here, a quick video. Everyone was asking for screen captures and such for the object cluster group sighting that we had today. It's been quite a busy day, and I'm going to try and throw this together as fast as I can because shorter videos post. It'll take me. Montana has the slowest posting speed on the planet, I swear. But anyway, what I'd like to show you guys is earlier today we saw the sighting of the object cluster group coming in from the northwest and headed to the southeast. It broke in over the top of Montana. Went in really close over the top of our heads. We saw all these multiple objects in the object cluster group. It was sighted between myself and John Atkinson down in Stevensville. We were on the phone and we had a co-sighting. He's going to be posting tomorrow some more pictures. I want everybody to know that we have been watching this object cluster group for a great deal of time. This is an actual sighting. This is documented. These are real. I'm going to move over to the other page and pull up a file here, and so you have to bear with me because I'm kind of funky at doing this because I've already erased the first video that I did. So I'm going to try and get to that, so bear with me. But I wanted to show you that we sighted it. It broke in, it went over there later on in the day. We did an alert on Skywatchers 1 and 2 when it was going in over South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, etc., heading the southwest. Now this was the hugest, biggest I've ever seen it. Multiple groups. This thing was hauling butt, which means it's really close. So this is why I'm doing a video today to give you everybody a heads up. If you don't know what the object cluster group is, NASA called it the asteroid pack, but then they gave a mislocation so people wouldn't panic. This stuff is coming past Earth. It's discharging electrically. We've had numerous sightings over the years, and we've been watching this at Montana Skywatcher with hundreds of thousands of pictures over the years, documentation of what's going on over our heads. So I want you folks to pass this video along to everybody out there. If you got a YouTube account, put this video on. That way we can get it out to the people, because this is just not coming out. Now, later on in the day, there's going to be this huge swelling up of a storm, and I'm going to be checking the weather tomorrow to see what's happened. But this is the early version of it, because when it first started coming in, I watched it go from northwest of me and pass off into the southeast, and it was one of the most phenomenal shows I've ever seen. So I did this red heads up report on Skywatcher. Anyway, I covered that already. So bear with me as I try to drum up my other page here and get you this file of pictures that we've had for over the last almost 5 years or so from sightings and comparisons from around the world. So I'll bring this up and then we'll go over to my photo file here. And I posted that photo file. Well, actually, all I have to do is, because it's standing right here, come to think of it. Object cluster group. All right. Well, this isn't the file I wanted. Okay, I'm sorry. We're going to have to go to the long one. That way we can cover the background of some of the older pictures, because I want to give you guys the heads up. It's a highly electrical passing asteroid cluster group. The OCG, we call it, and a lot of new folks on our site at Facebook want to know what the OCG is. It's the object cluster group. Now, this is the first picture we saw when it was coming in early, about 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, and it was always this little round blip and these other little sparkly objects, and we kept seeing it over and over showing up in pictures near the sun and above. Here's another one. Then we started to see where there was multiple objects. Now, I got a video in today that literally matches this exact same thing, except this was several years ago. When it got closer, we noticed there were multiple objects, multiple different colors. There's even a big blue one in front. And then we started seeing it coming around and underneath of At2 and around some of the other planets and discharge off of all the planets electrically. It puts off this rainbow hueing, and I'll go over here and we'll start over here and we'll click on these pictures and see if it'll let me get away with doing this. Anyway, there's larger objects, and there's a bunch of them. There's a whole bunch of debris coming in with behind this, and I want everybody to pay attention. I'm going to move through it really fast here. Okay, it illuminates pretty much by itself. It has this electrical discharge and an ionization between the planets and they drag off electrically. It's sort of like a 4-foot office tube lighting with the gaseous form. When they first start to come in, 1, 2, 3, they start forming these illuminations. And the sun, by the way, is not in this picture. It's over here. This is actually one of the illuminating objects. And you can see there's an electrical discharge going on between them, which is partially why they illuminate when they come in with proximity of the Earth and our outer bands of our outer atmosphere. It's an electrical, I believe it to be a free radical electron group of asteroids. And they're all held together by this static charge. Now, we've seen it for the longest time coming in and getting bigger and bigger and bigger over the years. This is a several-year-old, 4-year-old picture. There's other objects beside this and other object cluster groups as well. There's a lot of them out there, and we've been getting a lot of sightings. And I want you folks to get a heads up on this because you never know what's going to happen. But it'd be a lot better off if you had a little extra food on the shelf and everything. Not trying to cause a panic, but this thing was the biggest I've ever seen it and the fastest I've ever seen it, which means the speed increase has to do with proximity. It's huge, it's big, it passed Earth today. We had a mass sighting. A lot of people piped in and they were sending great pictures in. John Atkinson has some more pictures coming in tomorrow. I look forward to them on the Montana Skywatcher Facebook site, probably Skywatcher 2. But anyway, moving along. Okay, sometimes at sunset and stuff, you'll see it illuminate. It starts to just sort of show up out of nowhere and is briefly there only for, sometimes it's a few seconds, a minute, or 10 minutes. And today, I watched it for a full 15 minutes go past my house. And it was, like I said, bubbly, full of clouds. You could see the objects, you could see the skull, and we'll get into that. Okay, this is years ago. Now, this is an example of ionization between objects in space, and this is the little dust, water, ice crystal, water, whatever trail of the electricity between the object cluster group and AT2. Here's the planet, guys. I'm showing you this. These are there. The planets are there. If you don't get into this, you look to the dark side first. Get on board with this. We've been doing this long enough. We absolutely know what we're talking about. Now, in the early years, we kept seeing this illumination with this rainbow hueing. So we started paying attention to it because it kept showing up. Now, if you look over here, there's actually a planet right here. But people don't get that part. They're looking for something definite or something Hollywood. If you look to the dark areas first. There could even be one here. We've got a shadowing. If you're lower at altitudes, it's going to be harder to see, but they're there, guys. We've documented. Here is the side of AT2, the rainbow hueing, the directional objects. Look, guys, objects in there. Look for the round, dark things. There's one over here. You got to get on board with this. Here's another one from about 3 or 4 years ago. Round, dark objects. Lead object, the other 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. They're showing up a lot of times in the threes. Now, this is when it was taken on the other side of the planet on a different angle, but here they are. This is the lead object and some of the other stuff. We've got this picture numerous times in numerous different directions, and it's always staying in the same shape. Until, here's another example of that. One time when they went around the other side of the solar system away from us, along with the planets in one of the transitionary wobbles, we believe that one of the major other planets got hit, one of the gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, I can't remember exactly which, but anyway, I'm trying to make through this. I can't look everything up the moment I need it. But anyway, and I've been quite busy because we've had so many reports, and my sites alone, I got well over 8,000 members, plus all the 45, 50,000 members I try to talk to on other sites. So I'm getting a lot of reports from everybody. I'm getting a lot of information, and I'm sorry if I can't answer you all. I'm just getting so many tags and so many posts and so many private messages. I could spend 24 hours a day on the computer and be online with you folks, but I just can't. Here's an early one from Sharon Arbic back in 4/25/16. You can see you got to look for the little, this is like literally the face again. You got to look for the dark objects coming in with this cloud blippy thing. And it usually have some stripes, and you'll see it. Okay, here it is, 1, 2, 3 again. There is no sun in this picture. The sun is off to the side. Sharon Arbic took this picture. I don't remember what the date is, but it's probably about 2 years ago when they first started getting really big, and now they passed the Earth. If you look here, there's a big circular object here with the stripes. These things illuminate. They're reactionary. Here's a well-disputed pic recently by somebody we don't need to go in, and it caused sort of havoc over Skywatcher 2. But anyway, this is the screen illumination. That is why it looks this way. It is not a Photoshop, and I don't need to get into it. But this is one that somebody was really complaining about the other day. But 1, 2, 3, and this object in this shape, group has happened over and over and over again. We've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times. We know what we're talking about. Other people on WSO and all that, they're still guessing. They're still going, oh, look at this, read this, and look at that. And all they got to do is get on board with the planetary grouping and my monthly drawings. We know what's up there. We've been doing this long enough. We know. Okay. All right, here it is. 1, 2, 3 again. This is about 2 to 3 years old when they first got close proximity to Earth, and I was warning people back then, and very few people listened. And I got enough documentation. It's really time people get on board with this and pay attention, because this sucker passes every day, you guys. We got to watch these. They're huge, and they're dropping crap on us. I was watching the live meteor feed today, and there was clusters going by and all sorts of stuff. And I've had other people complain to me, well, we're not supposed to be in this any like meteor shower event, and yet these things still keep coming in. Why? Well, this is why, because the asteroid cluster group, the OCG, passes every day. Okay, there's another one. 1, 2, 3. Here they are again. 1, 2, 3. I mean, and this is right here. This dark area is Attu. You guys have got to get on board. Attu is close by. Nepesites in close pass again. Here we again. See this purple? This is planet Attu. Attu's angled stripes. Attu has angled stripes. Uri has straight stripes. This is most likely Attu's moon object cluster group. We've seen this over and over again. Same pattern. Time after time after time. You look back here, Uri's hiding back here. What's back here? These colors mean something. You guys got to pay attention to the colors and the folds, because these planets are stacked up and they're damn close and they're huge. You're not looking for little tiny stuff. You're looking for massive, close to Earth planets. I got people telling me that there's only one planet X. It's red. And I mean, guys, we've been documenting this for years. We know what we're talking about, and we watched them come in one after another. Here's a close-up. This sucker's going by. She's huge. 1, 2, 3 front facial flip. We've seen it over and over again. Thousands and thousands of pictures. Here we go. This is another early one from, I believe, from Sharon, and thank you. You do fantastic work. This is an obsidian rock, and there's a whole bunch of big sisters and little brothers along with her, and they're hauling butt, and they went by close past today. Okay, here's what it looks like. It comes hauling butt by. We believe in this picture that this is Attu's moon, and it actually might have come between Attu. See, Attu's purple. It's a gas giant. It's smaller than Uri, which is back here. Uri is a gray blue when it's close to Earth, and if you see the illumination down here, there's a different color sky back here. Okay, I don't have time to teach everybody everything, but here we go. Okay, this is one of the faces that they've seen in the past. This thing was like a year ago when it was hauling straight butt past us at horizon level. It was spooky. We got to watch it. Okay, this is space sprites. Everybody says, well, it's a sprite. Well, no, this is metal objects coming in that have an electrical charge, and they are discharging, and it could be likely, if we look at this 1, 2, 3, we could say this is the OCG. Now, I saw it come over. I saw a lightning storm come over Montana here, and it scared the hell out of me. It had the loudest thunder I'd ever seen in my life, and it was all centrally located discharges out of one group of coming through the sky. We had a hell of a wind. Now, that was literally a year ago, almost now, because I remember I was standing outside and it was warm enough. This is literally what I saw today, and it was hauling butt so fast, which means proximity. It's close to Earth. These are asteroids, and they're huge, and there's thousands of them. I don't know where the other stuff could be over here. There's storms coming in. You guys have got to pay attention to close pass and electrical events discharging, weather, wind, hail. This is where all the rain and crazy stuff is coming from, is the passing planets and the object cluster group. They are close to Earth. All right, I'm getting at 13 minutes. This is about a week ago. I believe it's from Richard. Thank you, Richard. You know who you are. I don't want to mention names without permission, but we believe this is the lead object when the ion trail and the brothers and sisters are behind. I'm showing you this is a doctored picture, but it's just colorized. It's not photoshopped. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This is recent from, I believe, the East Coast. Passing through, they come in, all of a sudden you can see them. They start to come out of nowhere. This is fingering an ionization between the planets. The reason I posted this, there's a black circular bit here, and of course it's from Sharon again, and she caught the corner of the front of the OCG. This could even be lead object right here itself, because you got to look for the rounds, look for the shadowing. You get to, the more you look at it, look at the dark side first. Look for the dark stuff first. Don't pay attention to the sun. Okay, moving along. All right, here's from John Atkinson down in Stevensville, about 30, 40 miles away from me, about 2 to 3 days ago. This is the object cluster group again. Here's the rainbow hueing illumination. This is Attu crossing on the cutoff of the sun. You've got Nibiru back here, Uri's up here. I do a drawing. I'll do a new one for you guys. I know everybody's asking for it. I'm sorry, I've been terribly busy. I've also been sick, and I've been recently replacing a washer and a water heater. So I've been quite busy. Anyway, here's an older picture about a month old. Here's Attu, the ion drag-off clouds that they make. The object cluster group at that time was going there. Uri is back behind Attu right now on the time of this picture. Moving on. Okay, here is from Hong Kong about 2 days ago. This is the object cluster group path that you can see. This is what some people are calling the dragon on other sites and stuff like this. It's for a reason. Wormwood, worm meaning dragon, wormwood. You could call it Apopus. You could call it the object cluster group. You can call it the asteroid pack. But here it is again, and it has that familiar facial shape of a dragon in some cases. Here you have the Attu's moon, the ion drag-off cloud. Now there's drag-off clouds between the larger planets as well. And I'm sorry I'm talking as fast as I am, but I'm trying to keep everybody as informed as I possibly can. All right, what you're looking for, even if you're at the low-lying areas, you're looking for this shape, or this shape. Here you have objects in the sky. And here again is dark purplish Attu. Look for the definition between. Look for the dark side first, and you're going to find a shadowy planet. These are objects in here, guys. I can't teach this enough, and I can't stress it enough. I'm trying to get to everybody, but this is, I'm only one person. Okay, here's an older picture. This is another one of the faces. You've got these round objects, and they make it look like a face. I myself have seen the skull about, 2 weeks ago. I saw it come from underneath when Attu was directly over the top of our head. The whole sky was filled up with dark shadow, and the dark shadow was on the West Coast footage earlier. If you want to rewind this, you can look at the West Coast dark shadow footage because it's passing planets that are shadowing the Earth and cutting off the sun. Okay, here's what they look like when they first come in at low altitudes. They just start being this wispy, weird thing. But if you watch them move, they'll only be there for a few minutes in some cases. And as I may have said before, I saw them for a good full 15 minutes, and they were hauling butt, which is why I am putting out this video today. Another picture of the sprites, and I'm sorry that's misplaced. Anyway, they look like this group of clouds, but they haul butt, and there's these round objects in them. Right now it's bigger than this, and this was like a week or two old, but I wanted to point out that you're looking at clouds, yes, true, but it's the same shape over and over again. Here's one of my favorite pictures from about 2 or 3 years ago. This is the 1, 2, 3 back then, and I made drawings of it way in the past, even before we even saw these pictures, because I knew what they looked like from time after time, and that's where my drawings come from. And then I draw them, and then believe it or not, a day or two goes by, and you can ask anybody, this happens all the time. Day or two goes by, and I've drawn the exact picture of what they've captured. Anyway, I've gone around. Now, I'm trying to give you the heads-up warning. We could get hit by some of this. Don't forget Chelyabinsk, in Russia. Boom. And I just want people to be aware that this is happening. Live report from Montana Skywatcher, Samuel Hofman. You guys have a really nice day.